what he wants. He didn't restrict it to what he wants, to his will or his wish. Rather, he said about himself that he is ala kulli shay'in qadir. Allah has full power over everything. So therefore, you should say that which Allah, the Perfect and Most High, said about himself. You shouldn't restrict his power with a statement like that. He said, this only occurs, a similar statement only occurs in the saying of Allah the Most High, وَهُوَ عَلَى جَمْعِهِمْ إِذَا يَشَاءُ قَدِيرٌ. Surah Ash-Shura, the 42nd Surah, Ayah 29, with the explanation, and Allah has full power to gather them, the people, all together, when He wishes. إِذَا شَاءَ قَدِيرٌ. Allah has full power to gather the mankind together when He wishes. Shaykh al-Fawzan said, because the gathering of the creation has a certain time in the future, and He is fully able to gather them at that time, meaning the inhabitants of the heavens and the earth. So Shaykh al-Fawzan is mentioned that this ayah is not a proof for those people who use this phrase here. The ayah doesn't mean that Allah has the power to gather the people if He wants to. It doesn't mean that. It means that when He wishes, which is on the day of judgment, then He has the full power to gather the people. So this ayah cannot be a proof for that saying of the people that we should say about Allah, He has full power over whatever He wishes or wants. Rather, we say about Him, He has full power over everything, and we don't restrict His power. Then Shaykh al-Fawzan said, He the Most High said, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ خَلْقُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَمَا بَثَّ فِيهِمَا مِنْ دَابَّةٍ وَهُوَ عَلَى جَمْعِهِمْ إِذَا يَشَاءُ قَدِيرٌ. This same ayah from Surah Ash-Shura, the 42nd Surah, Ayah 29. So he gives the first part of the ayah to make clear what is meant by the ayah. He said, quotes the ayah with the explanation, and from His signs is the creation of the heavens and the earth, and whatever creatures He has created and spread within them, and He has full power to gather them when He wishes. So this ayah is not meant as a restriction of Allah's power, that He's only powerful over whatever He wants to be powerful over. That is not the correct understanding. As for, finally on this point, then Shaykh Yahya al-Hajuri, Hafidhahullah, again when he was over here, he said about this point, وَلَا شَيْءَ يُعْجِزُهُ, and there is nothing which causes Allah to be incapable. He said, this is a nafi, this is a denial or a negation. It's a denial of something for Allah. There is nothing that makes Him incapable. He said, this is a denial. But it does not, what is meant by it is not a mere denial. Because denial on its own is not from the belief of the Ahlul Sunnah. Rather, it is the position of the innovators. So he made a point here that we had also in Aqidah al-Wasitiyah, that as for the people of the Sunnah, then they are not people who, when they speak about their Lord, speak about Allah, they just give a list of things which Allah is not. Allah is not this, and He is not that. Allah is not this, and nor is He that. He is not this, nor is He this, nor is He this. They give a long list of things which Allah is not. And you'll hardly find them affirming anything at all. They hardly ever say, but He is this, or He has this attribute. So this denial, in detail, is the position of the people of innovation. Where Shaykh Yahya made clear, and Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah before him made clear, as for the people of the Sunnah, then their way is the way of the Qur'an, which gives a general denial of certain things for Allah and gives a detailed affirmation of attributes for Him. And whenever there is a denial, then the denial is there to affirm something which is its perfect opposite. So he makes the same point. In this point here, that same principle applies. وَلَا شَيْءَ يُعْجِزُهُ, and there is nothing which causes Allah to be incapable. He said, So this denial is there because of affirmation of its perfect opposite. I mean, we deny that there is anything to make Allah incapable because we affirm the perfect opposite for that, for Allah. We don't just say He's incapable, rather we affirm His perfect opposite, which we affirm Allah's perfect power. I mean, there's nothing that renders Him incapable because of His perfect power, the perfection of His power and ability. So that is the position of the people of the Sunnah and the Jama'ah. That when we deny something like this, it's only because we're affirming the perfect opposite. Which in this case is when we say about Allah that there's nothing that makes Him incapable, there's nothing that causes Him to be incapable, then that is because, as the Shaykh started off by saying, it contains an affirmation of the perfection of His power and ability. Walhamdulillah wa sallallahu ala Muhammad. Any points of clarification?
This makes a nice point about Allah has actually named many of the creation with the same name.
No. I don't know. Okay. With regard to the point, a brother's just making a nice point. Obviously, as we said, the explanation, the scholars have praised the explanation of Ibn Abil Izz, his explanation about Tahawiyah. But it's excellent and is the best explanation, but it's rather long, and there's some difficult points in there, which is why some of the reasons we chose Shaykh al-Fawzan's explanation. But amongst the excellent points here, with regard to Tashbih, he makes, as the brother said, an excellent point here, that affirming attributes for Allah, when the creation have the like of those attributes, for example, affirming that Allah is the all-knowing, when we at the same time affirm that the creation has knowledge, and affirming that Allah has sight, when the creation has sight, and affirming that Allah has a hand, when the creation have hands. This fact is what leads the Mu'attila, that's what leads them into denying these certain attributes. Because they say, if we affirm for Allah a hand,